Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another Grandmaster matchup between 6D and Blue Ice. Now, in this game, it's going to be a very interesting game to start off with because this game centered around the drama that happened early on today between the two teams. I suppose that we had some misunderstanding due to some random screenshots provided by CJ in the Kiku group chat. But having said that, now we're going to jump into this game. Spawning on the top left-hand side corner, we have Blue Ice. The bottom right, we have Auckland StarCraft 6D. Now in last game, apparently Blue Eyes quit earlier on, either forgot his hatchery or had some lag issues, but anyways, this is going to be the second game and probably their first proper game, I'd say, on this map. And you know, 6D as usual doing that gas trick, whereas Blue Eyes rather a normal overlord timing. I always struggle to understand, you know, the difference between the two, but anyways, that's not a big deal. So right now, we're just gonna have a standard 15 hatch and another 15 hatch on the other side at the same time. Same as last game, probably. Won't see really, much cheese going on, I suppose. The earliest timing from this would be a standard 340 Baneling bust, something like that. But anyways. Having said that, Frozen Simple is always a map where some players do prefer a 16 spawning pool rather than a 15 hatch or 16 hatch, because this map is really vulnerable to sort of cheese plays early game, even a drone pool sometimes. But anyways, these two players are not so worried as they are experienced and they are apparently around top 100 on the North American ladder, so we can't really question their opening whatsoever. Now, the interesting thing to note here is that it will be interesting to see when they will be opening for a third hatch. As some players prefer early, some players prefer late, depending on micro and the game situation, and if either player spots an all-in or defensive wharf. Pretty standard play so far. Probably going to be a double queen, some lanes. Speed or roach, but yes, other than that, 6D is going to be safe, make a few more lanes to scout. Whereas on the side of Blue Ice, no lanes just yet, 2 lanes about to pop out. 4 lane scout is extremely safe and could spot any kind of war in. But there's no way to block these lanes. Queens are not out earlier enough, usually. Anyways, 2 lanes are going to go for that defense, not going for any scouting whatsoever on this side of Blue Ice. Interesting Roach Warren being dropped down. Do push these lanes back, however. Not getting inside the main base just yet, but sees the drone count, I guess. So yeah, he does actually see the drone count right there. So according to that, it's very unlikely there will be an all-in coming. Roach Warren getting dropped down to war off the natural. Even if there's a speedling timing, could probably defend that. Someone's lagging. It's not our concern whatsoever. When there's an observer, a lot of observers there, it's just quite often this happens. Kind of annoying, but yeah, we'll just tolerate that. It's okay, guys. $60 is going for a apparently an early Roach Warren. It's kind of defensive. Although 6D is floating a bit of a gas, and he didn't throw down an Evolution Chamber, also didn't throw down Baneling Nest, so this could be a 7 Roach all-in coming out from 6D. However, having said that, we do have a Baneling bust and a Baneling Nest and a third base, which means that he is not going for a Baneling bust all-in, most likely not. He's still making lings though, which is just going to play a bit defensive. But having said that, first roach is out. 2 more overlords, probably more roaches. Going for early game roach pressure. I'm gonna chew down these lings. Speedling just finished, 16 lings on the way. Let's see how 6D will react to this. He's going on the other side, avoiding being spotted by these two overlords. This could catch 60 off guard. 60 just gonna stay on the ramp with these 3 roaches, but if he's able to block off this ramp, he could go for a large counterattack afterwards. Yes, he is. He is going down. He did realize that, you know, the speed lane timing is coming. That's alright, I suppose. He just morphed more banelings. Could potentially go for a all-in on the second base. But anyways, now he's been pulling back with these lanes and transitioning to Roach himself. The chances are that, you know, he's not going for an all-in. But anyway, 60 here do have a lot of roaches on the way. He's getting his own baneling nest at the same time. So yeah, this could be a roach timing. It's not going to get a layer, but it's going to be a 2 base roach bane timing, most likely. 2 gases, 5 workers mining the gas. On the side of Blue Eyes, Roach Warren just finished. He could make roaches of his own and shouldn't have too much problem holding because he got Blaming Nest as well. Roach Bane Lane versus Roach Bane Lane, a fairly even matchup. He do have a 3rd base, which means that if he holds this attack, it will be in a great lead as he get more lava, which means more worker, and also you know, could transition quite smoothly. Whereas 60 had to worry about getting his 3rd base up, which is not even going to. Speedling is going to going inside his main base because he spotted these slow roaches going up. These roaches are quite slow actually, but these speedlings trying to deny 3rd base. However, there is no 3rd base, and there are banelings right there. Oh, catch some huge baneling connection right there. 60. He's gonna have a great hold while on the other side pressuring with his roaches. Roach is gonna get morphed in. 60 is going to hold this attack most likely with another big baneling connection. Are they microing on the other side? Workers are getting pulled. Drones. Can they actually get this around? If we get this around, then Blue Eyes can definitely hold this, but at what cost? Let's have a look at the worker killed. Only 6 workers. That's a decent hold right there. And now with 3rd base up and a decent amount of army supply, he's in a great lead right now. 66 supply to 60. Still anyone's game, but he do have this uphill vision disadvantage. It'll be very hard for 60 to push up. He's trying his best to push up, but now there are no banelings and his roaches are getting surrounded. This attack may just end in no time. At the back of this, he is transitioning, getting a 3rd base himself, as you can see on the production tab. But anyways, that was a great hold. Both players are going for that transition, or are they just going to stay on tier 1 units? You know, Roach Ravager banelings are pretty strong. But yeah, 60, as he pointed out, you know, is in a disadvantage right now. You know, less lava, 3rd base is very late. Could get denied potentially if Blue Eyes decides to go for a huge push. One lane do get inside spots the whole tech choice of Blue Eyes, but anyways, it's not going to go too much. He sees that the worker count is actually not that high, which means that he could potentially expect an all-in or pressure coming. On the other hand, Blue Eyes is pretty smart, as he's going to start to build more drones. Knowing that he's ahead, he's going to further his economic lead and perhaps going for a 3 base timing to end the game, or he could go to get a 4th base relatively early as well, knowing that he is so far ahead of this game. 96 supply to 79, nearly 20 supply lead. Will not lose these drones, of course. He could pull back and all these lanes get caught. Let's have a look at the unit loss tab. As expected, Blue Eyes is in a commanding lead. Remember, economically as well. There you go. But yeah, on the other hand, 60 is getting drone up, getting back into this game. But hey, once again, the production. You just could not follow the production of Blue Eyes at this stage of the game. You either go for an all-in or play extremely greedy. Get like 1 or 2 more bases, hoping that you can come back. Because in the mid-game timing, if Blue Eyes decides to go and just kill 60, it's going to be very hard to defend. Knowing that he only have roaches and 2 ravagers, that's not going to hold. And now he's still building drones, trying to recover from his economy as a consequence of his early failed all-in, I'd say, because he was on 2 bases, didn't have a 3rd base. Then yeah, that was an all-in attempt. It was a great drone surround on the side of Blue Ice, which did actually defend that quite well. So now, he's on 3 base saturation on 1, 2, 3, 4 gases, as well as, he could, either get a 4th base or go for a 3 base all-in. And either way, he probably got this game in his bag. 30 supply lead, and now he's going for that timing attack. I sniped some Overlords on the way. Overlords do spot this timing, so 6D probably gonna make non-stop roaches from this point onwards, but it's going to be extremely hard to hold. When they look at the Ravager count, it's 6. Only 2 Ravager count on the side of 6D. +1's got to finish, and it's +0 on the side of Blue Ice. If he can take advantage of his high ground, actually it works. Hold on for a while. Do spot this Spire. He could just cancel the Spire right now and go for a 4 base all-in. Or is he going to let it finish, knowing that it's already spotted by 6D? Yeah, it is spotted. Okay. 6D still has a chance into this game. 2 favorable engagement, he could potentially come back to even this game out. He's already getting his Hydralisk in just in case, knowing that he could still cancel it. But he's not going to make any Hydras, hopefully, until he sees the Mutas come out. Or anticipate, whatever. Okay, so now he's trying to get down these rocks, but there are so many Ravagers on the side of Blue Ice. It's going to be extremely hard to hold. All these corrosive bios are like, I don't know, you need godlike APM and split. And if these Zerglings surround you, the chances are the game will just end right there. So both players need to micro properly and actually try their best not to underestimate each other. This is still anyone's game, but he's still in the huge favor of Blue Ice. If I was to put a bet, I would bet Blue Ice do have this game, since he is in such a huge commanding lead, and his army composition is pretty decent. Whereas on the side of 6D, he doesn't have much banelings, which means that if Zerglings surround him, chances are it's GG. That's how many corrosive bios he can put out at once. Maybe a 4th base relative, that's pretty safe. Got that Muta take, got a tech lead, got economic lead, got an army lead, and now he could just go for a base lead. But on the other side of 6D though, do actually react by taking a 4th base of his own. Which is alright, I suppose, but still kind of behind economically. Can't play too greedy, just hope that Blue Ice makes some mistake, I'd say. On the side of 6D, we do have Hydralisk then coming out. So it's going to be a Hydra tech. Anticipate some Spire, but that Spire just baited out a lot of these Spore Crawlers, which is essential. Sacrificing a lot of drones, economy as well. Both players scouted each other's 4th base right here, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, Blue Ice baneling, just upgrading his baneling speed kind of late, which is going to delay his timing, knowing that he's already full supply. This gives 6D some time to prepare for it. So probably when that timing hits, 6D is going to be on 180 if not 200 supply. He's getting Hydras, which potentially he could transition to Lurker Tech, but he's not going to because he could anticipate a Muta transition as well. No, he doesn't know how much supply the enemy has, and therefore, and therefore he is playing pretty cautiously not to go too fast into the Lurker Tech. Just starting off, Lurker Tech takes ages to transition into, and of course 6D is still kind of behind economically. The drone count's pretty even, but there are so many extra mining time that Blue Ice had in the last 10 minutes or so. So let's look at the upgrade. Let's see if 6D is actually in a lead right here. So +2 for 6D, +1 for Blue Ice. Also have Pathogen Glance right here upgrade, which is pretty cool. It could transition into Infestors later on. Borrowed Infestors, a very interesting army choice actually, just to stop these banelings, because these banelings are actually so powerful if they can get a huge hit of these Hydras. Now these Infestors gonna get pulled back. See if we can get these godlikes trying to stop these banelings. Yes, he actually, that's attempt was successful. Now they're going to engage better concave from 6D and the defensive position. But yeah, the front power of Blue Ice is just too much. It's going to be too hard to hold this, I'd say. 25 roaches in production, there's 14 roaches in production. I think Blue Eyes just have this game. Trying to push uphill, trying to control this position, which is a link to the natural and the third base. Going to cut 60's army in half, but he's going to get surrounded, however, on both sides. A lot of corrosive bios getting landed down. He could buy more time, of course, waiting for these huge reinforcement right here. Instant remax, and 60 on the other side, only 101 supply. It's going to be extremely hard to hold this huge timing attack coming out of the Blue Ice. And that should be game right here. This is too much. Jokers are coming out. You know, at what cost? They're just too late. Too little. Just down a Disparate Spire. That's not gonna work. And that's 200 supply and 70. GG.